Hello guys, in today's video I want to show you how to track add to cart button on Shopify. In order to follow this tutorial, there are two requirements that you need to do. First, you need to make sure the Google Tag Manager's code is properly installed on your Shopify store. And the second is you have Google Analytics properly connected to your Google Tag Manager. I already posted tutorial for these two steps on my previous videos. Feel free to check it out on the description box. And in this tutorial, we will use custom Shopify snippets approach. This is more like a traditional approach compared to Shopify customer event pixel. So now let's jump to our Google Tag Manager. Now we are on our Google Tag Manager and let's click Preview. Now we are on our product page and let's click Add to Cart button on this page. As you can see, no tag has fired other than the GA4 configuration tag over here. This actually makes sense because we have not set up any trigger or any tag for this specific button yet. Now let's go back to our Google Tag Manager. And here, as you can see, we only have one tag on the setup. So in order to track this add to cart event, we need to create a tag. And in order to create a tag, we need to define a trigger first. So now let's create a trigger. This add to cart button will be triggered by a click. So for the trigger type, we just choose click all elements here as the trigger type. For the specific trigger, we just name it GA4 all click and make sure it will fires on every click. Now let's go back to our preview mode and see if this trigger works. So now let's go to our product page again and click the add to cart button. As you can see, the click event has been captured, but if you see more details of this event, we can see there is not enough information that we can extract. Here in this step, we need to find a specific data or information that we can extract to define our trigger. Now let's go back again to our Google Tag Managers and check our variable section. As you can see, the option for variables that we are seeing right now on our Google Tag Managers are the same variables that we just saw earlier on our Google Tag Assistant. So now let's click configure so we can enable some of other variables. Here we will enable all of the variables that we have on the clicks option over here. So now let's go to our preview mode and do the same step as before. We just need to go to the product page and click the add to cart button. Now, as you can see right now, we have more information on the variables that we can extract and use as definition for our trigger. As you can see, there is add to cart tags, and we cannot use this condition alone for triggers because it's not reliable enough and it can be changed if the developer decided to change the code. And if you scroll up a little bit, we find other value that is more reliable. In here, we're gonna use click classes and you just need to copy the value. Now let's go back to our Google Tag Managers under the trigger sections and edit the tag that we just set up earlier. Instead of all click, I want this trigger to fire only on some clicks. And here we will set up a conditions. This trigger will fire only if the click classes contain the variables that we just copied earlier from our Google Tag Assistant. And we will also change the name for this trigger. Now let's set up a tag. So we want this data to send to Google Analytics. For the measurement ID, we have set up the GF4 measurement ID as one of our custom variables that we just made in the previous video. So if you don't know how to set it up, I recommend you to watch the previous video that I just posted. For this specific tag, we will name the event as add to cart. And for the trigger, we just need to choose the triggers that we just made earlier. And now let's go back on the preview mode and let's see if this tag will fire. Now, as you can see, our add to cart tag already fired, and let's see on Google Analytics if the data is correctly sent to our Google Analytics. And as you can see, there is even call add to cart that we just set up on the tag earlier, which means our data has been successfully sent to Google Analytics. However, when we click more of this event, there is no additional information available. In this scenario, we want to know more details about the products that have been added to the cart. So now let's set it up on our Shopify. So now in order to get more of this information, let's set a data layer on our Shopify. So Shopify can send this data to Google Tag Manager. You just need to go to the theme and go to edit code. Now that we are on our Shopify backend, go to the layout sections and click to theme.liquid. You will see the Google Tag Manager's code installed there, and you just need a little bit space above it. You just need to copy this code that I will give you on the description box, and you just need to paste it right on top of the Google Tag Manager code. We put this code on top of Google Tag Manager's code so it can load first, and then Google Tag Managers can capture the data. As you can see to the code that I just pasted, there is a reference to head data layer. So now we will create a snippet with that exact name. As you can see, it shows errors on my part because I already have that exact name of snippet that I already made before this tutorial. And if this is your first time doing it, you will not face the same problem like me. So now let's go to the head data layer snippet that I just made and copy and paste the code that again I will give you in the description box. We also will make another snippet with the exact name as mentioned in the head data layer. Again, it shows error on my part because I already have that name of snippets that I just made on my Shopify backend. You will not face the same problem if this is your first tutorial. Same step, basically I will copy and paste the code to the snippet that we just made. So this code will captures all the details of our product that we just click or edit to add to cart button. And remember, this detail of product will be under the event name of custom add to cart. Now let's go back to our Google Tag Manager and we will modify the trigger that we just set up earlier. In here, we will change the trigger type. Instead of choosing click as the trigger type, here we will modify it and change it to custom event. And we will put custom add to cart as the event that we will capture. Also, I would like to change the trigger name over here. And now let's go back again to our preview mode and let's see if this trigger works. And as you can see, we have custom add to cart event being tracked here. And if you click the button over here, you can see all of the details of the product that we just clicked, which means the code that we just set up earlier on Shopify backend actually works. So now let's check it on our debug mode on Google Analytics. As you can see, there is an event that being tracked on Google Analytics. It's add to cart event, but you can see there is no details of the product that we just clicked actually can be seen here. The reason I was looking for add to cart event instead of custom add to cart is because when we were setting up the tag container, we set up the event name as add to cart. So if you go back to our Google Tag Manager, you can see under the tag that we just made, the event that we actually wrote over there was add to cart. So we will modify this. In order to see our product details on Google Analytics, we just need to set up parameters on our tag container. It's basically like telling Google Tag Managers which data that we care the most to be sent to Google Analytics. So this thing that you are seeing right now is called JavaScript data layer, and there's some information that we want to extract from here. We will extract the currency, the value, the quantity, and the item name. So in order for you to get the IDR value under the currency, you need to use the dot notation. So since currency is under e-commerce, you just need to write the variable as e-commerce.currency. In here, we are going to tell Google Tag Managers which variables that they need to get. In order to do that, we need to set up a custom variable. So the variable type will be data layer variable, and you just need to write the reference that I just explained before on the box. Don't forget to give it a unique variable name, and do the same thing with other parameters that I just mentioned before. Now let's check it again on our preview mode. Do the same step as before. Put your product on add to cart button. Now if you go back to Google Analytics debug mode, you can see the custom add to cart event was fired. And if you click on it, you will see the details of the parameters that we just set up. seems to work, don't forget to submit the changes. That's it guys, it's pretty easy, right? In the next video, I'll show you how to track these details on the products, but using Shopify Customer Even Pixel. See you!